This week on Music Worth Buying, we're going to be featuring Leaves on the Wind, Volume 2 from The Fallen Stars.
And Venus by Joy Williams.
Hello everybody and welcome to Music Worth Buying. My name is Robert Kinsler and I'm a music writer and a musician.
My name is TJR and I'm a musician and I'm also a music writer as well, just as fate would have it.
But I have another question. Yes. Are you a brown coat?
I don't know. I was kind of for unification, but I see what you're getting at, though.
Yeah, you know. So
am I a brown coat?
And this is kind of a sequel here, right?
Yeah.
Because what I'm gonna kick off things is with the latest collection from the Fallen Stars. Now, and I don't recall how long ago, but the Fallen Stars did the first of their tributes to the television show Firefly, and this was Leaves on the Wind Volume 1. Well, and the goal of the Fallen Stars, and they're an Americana group out of Huntington Beach, California, was to kind of set all the episodes of Firefly and the Serenity film and do a song for each of those. And they, on their first volume here, they did 5 songs, and they were terrific. They followed up with another 5-song collection, Volume 2, and it's fantastic. And I'm going to read off the full title so I don't butcher it, you know me. It says, Leaves on the Wind, Volume 2, No Power in the Verse Can Stop Me.
Okay.
And again, this is just a fantastic collection. And before we talk a little bit more about this EP, let's listen to the first song that kicks off the EP. And this is called Goodnight Kiss, and it's based on episode 6 of Firefly.
All right. Cool.
I placed a wreath of flowers on his head, a bowl of wine and a dance, and wherewith the finest bride and a wife shall be his until my goodnight kiss. He won't see it coming, no they never do. A word and a look and they swear they'll be true. For the promise.
You know, it occurs to me, and I don't know why I didn't sooner, just how perfect a match it is, this band doing songs based on this TV show.
Yeah, and it's funny, we didn't even talk about this off camera, and I was thinking that earlier. I go, if Josh Whedon brought the show back, he should almost have them do the soundtrack or something. You know, the mandolins, the fiddle. I don't know what people are going to hear, but it sets you where in that universe.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like I said, when you think about the opening theme to Firefly, you know, you've got a science fiction show with a Western theme song,
right?
And the whole kind of Western atmosphere of the series, Western science fiction,
sci-fi Western,
yeah. Suddenly it occurred to me, yeah, this band is just a perfect match, for this. I loved the song, by the way. I thought the song was great. It didn't take very long for me to be immediately hooked by it. But yeah, what a perfect match they are to do this project, doing a song for each episode of the series. So I really like the song.
Yeah, and you know, when they had their release party for Volume 1, it was actually where they had there was like a special charity event for the brown coats, and they showed the Serenity movie, and I think they showed Out of Gas. I don't recall what episode. And then they actually played at like the intermission or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And it was great. They played some of the songs that were on the first volume, and it is a great fit. And it's like sometimes it's hard when somebody says we're going to do, you know, try to write a song based on this idea or that, but they, you know, it really works.
Yeah.
And both the leaders of the group, Bobo and Tracy, they both alternate singing. On this one we heard Tracy featured, and on the next song we'll be listening to Bobo, and they're a husband and wife duo. You know, it's a very simple package. It's just a little EP. It's, you know, it just slides in here. I don't know what you'd call it, but you know, the great thing is that you're getting the songs. You know, that's the important thing. And if you're a fan of Firefly, it kind of extends the magic of that television show, kind of here with these interpretations of specific episodes with songs that they've created that are original. Yeah. So let's listen to a little bit of the second song on here, because I love that one too, and it's called The True Story of the Hero of Canton, and this is based on episode 7, Janestown.
Which was one of my favorite episodes of that show.
Great.
Yeah, real favorite, so I'm curious to hear this. Okay,
great.
Cool.
Jane, the man they call Jane.
He robbed from the rich and he gave to the
I
poor.
hope they don't
Stood up
remember
to the man and he gave him
the
what
last
for.
time I was
Our love
here.
for him now ain't
just
hard to
can't
explain.
explain.
The hero of Canton, the man they call
Okay, first of all, I like the track. Okay, right at the door, I like the track. What's interesting about this track, which separates it from the previous one they did, is when you listen to these songs, if you don't know what they're based on, you can just listen to the lyrical imagery of the lyrics, and you can form your own interpretation of it, of what it's about. When you see the videos they did on the first album with the songs, the videos they did where they showed the scenes from the episode, you kind of got, oh, I see where those lyrics fit into the actual episode. I see how that fits in. But otherwise you wouldn't know if you didn't know the series at all. What's interesting about this one is here they actually mention the names of the characters. I don't think they did it in the previous one.
I don't recall offhand.
I don't recall that there was any really like in-your-face mention of any character names. It was all more oblique. As far if you knew the show, you could get it. Otherwise, you wouldn't catch the references. But here, it's very obvious. They talk about Jane. They talk about the incidents in the episode, and it's almost like this could be. If that episode was a musical, this would be a musical number within that episode.
Right. That's interesting.
And I enjoyed it as that. I enjoyed it for that reason.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, yeah, and I need to go back and listen to Volume 1 again. And you know what? In preparing for today, here's the new one, Volume 2 of the Leaves on the Wind. Here's Volume 1. But they've also released a bunch of other great CDs that aren't linked to Firefly, or they're just, standalone great songs. And I really encourage people to check out the Fallen Stars. They're, all around the world, there's these regional bands that maybe aren't that well known. Maybe they haven't been on a major label and stuff. And to me, the Fallen Stars kind of personify that. They're doing this great music,
and touring around the world.
I know right now as we speak, they're in Europe and stuff. Check them out. Go to thefallenstars.com, investigate, but really, lend them your ears, because I think they're very deserving of that.
I agree. Yeah.
Now, who'd you bring in this week?
Well, yes. Well, my artist pick needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyways. And this is Venus. This is the first, not the first solo album by Joy Williams. This is her first solo album since the breakup of the Civil Wars, of course. And prior to that, Joy Williams had some solo albums as a Christian artist, or spiritual artist. I'm not sure which was the proper term at the time. But prior to that, she did have some solo albums. This is her first one since the breakup of the Civil Wars. In the opening track, she sings, "I have miles and miles to go before I'm free." And of course, most people who listen to this are going to feel that she's referring to being free from the shadow of her former group. And why shouldn't they, of course? Because this whole album comes off as very deeply confessional and personal. There is enough obliqueness in the lyrics. I'm using that word again.
Yeah.
There is enough obliqueness in the lyrics so that if you don't know about the past history with her in the Civil Wars, you can interpret it to your own experiences. But I seriously doubt there's anybody who's going to be picking up this album that isn't going to be familiar with that, to be honest. So the majority of its songs just come off as very confessional, dealing with that. But you can also interpret it to your own experiences with heartbreak and loss as well. So just depending on how you want to look at it. For me, the best example of this on the whole album is the first track that I'm going to have everybody listen to, which is called "One Day I Will." So let's go ahead and check this out. Here we go.
When I look back, I like to say I'm better off on my own. And even though right now I don't feel strong, one day I will.
That is simply just a beautiful song. I mean, what it says is obviously powerful. At least I'm like you. You hear that, and obviously you think that's about her separation with the other member of the Civil Wars, but it's just such a beautiful song, and it's not only her vocal performance is very almost like spoken, but yet it's very sonically beautiful, and then also just the way that there's some sparse kind of programming, but it's very organic, and it's just the whole thing really works. It's just the song is great, her performance is great. It's just a knockout.
Yeah, you can take it as deeply confessional, but also you can also just see it. It's very relatable in that we all have points in our lives where we have to deal with something that really just hurts us inside. Be it a breakup, we lose a loved one.
Right.
And, there's this feeling of, I'd like to be strong, but this too shall pass one day, and one day I will be strong enough again. And we've all kind of been there. If we've lived any kind of life, we've all been there at one point in our lives.
So somebody able to kind of look and say, I have these feelings now, but I know that if I can get through this, I'm gonna be stronger.
It will be better.
Yeah,
it will get better. Yeah, it's an amazingly powerful song.
Yeah.
And when you talk about, it has this very sparse arrangement before it goes into the electronic programming. And I want to bring that up because I'm kind of surprised with that she went in a more electronic direction for this album instead of just continuing on the Americana trend that she was with the Silver Wars. It works extremely well. A lot of the consistency of this album's sound is credited. It needs to be credited to producer Matt Morris. He did all the keyboards and he did all the programming.
Okay.
And normally I know you and I were kind of like, we want to hear real drums. We don't like all this pre-programmed stuff.
Yeah.
Here it works amazingly well. And I've always said, there's nothing wrong with electronic, but you've got to have some emotional heart in there as well. And one thing that shines through all the drum and keyboard programming is just her the emotion of her vocal performance throughout every song.
Yeah.
But also there is real keyboards being played. When I hear the song, I can tell that's real piano being played. A real person's playing that piano. So you've got the electronic programming, plus you've got the real human playing, and it just works amazingly well.
Yeah,
in this respect.
I agree. Yeah, and this is one of those rare albums too that we've both heard before we came to the shooting here and stuff, and it's just this album is just very, and every time I hear it, I hear something else that I didn't before. Just very powerful.
It really surprised me.
Yeah,
I was not expecting this.
Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of people will be surprised, even if they're real familiar. I don't know her previous solo albums, but this is very different from the Civil Wars, but it's equally as great as what she did with the Civil Wars.
Absolutely. And all the songs, now she's involved in co-writing all the songs. A lot of the songs she has co-written with Matt Morrison. There's some other musicians involved that helped her with the songwriting, but she is involved with every song. I want to just talk about the packaging very briefly. It comes in a mini gatefold, mini vinyl gatefold here. There's the front and there's the interior. The booklet, I think I also especially like the booklet. I especially want to say, especially when you're dealing with these booklets here, I've often said the lyrics are easy to read. Well, these are the easiest to read I've experienced in a long time. This is really set up well, the way the lyrics are printed. It's extremely easy to read, so I really appreciate that quite a bit. And you do want to read the lyrics, especially. And then, of course, there's the usual album credits as well. Kudos on that, too. We're going to check out another track here. This was the track that was released as a pre-single. It's called Woman Oh Mama, and it was released as the single before the album. And it's not hard to see why. It's probably the strongest, one of the musically strongest songs on the album, probably one of those commercially strong songs on the album, so it's no wonder it was released as a single. And maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't, but let's check it out here.
Woman hate, woman cry, woman break, woman hold you in the palm of her hand, woman changing the mask on her face, woman stand with her feet in the fire, woman only one thrown in the flames. Come let me show you where
I'm like you, this is just a fantastic song. Not only is it a great song, and again, she's a great singer, a great songwriter, and this and that, but it's like how she tackles the whole subject about being a woman and how women are treated. I mean, you hear all these women kind of opine this and that, but it's usually kind of trite and inconsequential. She's dealing with, a pretty, some real amazing honesty here about kind of where she sees women are in the world,
and how women have been perceived through the ages, how women have had to bear a lot of the slings and arrows of society. And in fact, this reminds me of a particular song by John Lennon that he wrote that had the name Woman in the title. I think you know which song I'm talking about, I hope, if you know John Lennon's catalog. This is probably the strongest song dealing with that topic since John Lennon wrote his song.
Exactly.
And
that was back in the 70s, as I recall.
Back in the 70s, it was a very radical thing because he really he used some very strong language, which is why I'm not repeating the title here because we're a family show. At least we try to be. But because of this, he used some very strong language. to make a point about how women have been basically put upon throughout, the ages.
Yeah.
And she's talking about it here, but she's also talking that there's hope as well, and in very economical lyrics of just very simple words,
yeah.
so that you can fill in the blanks. And also, she's not saying, oh, woe is me, poor me.
Yeah.
She's not saying, feel sorry for me. She's just saying, look, this is how it's.
Yeah.
This is how it is. This is how it's been.
Yeah.
Let's move forward and try to make it better.
Yeah.
That's what I get from it.
Yeah,
anyways.
I do too. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not this oh, pity me kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, she's doing it's like it's from her heart, it's from her soul, and it just comes out. It's just and that's kind of how this whole album is. It's just this really remarkable statement. One of the strong albums of 2015.
Yeah,
Really is.
that previous song, "One Day I Will." I read an interview where she talked about how the song began just as a conversation about, well, what do you want to write? She was talking to the producer, what do you want to write about? Well, it began as a conversation. She said that those lyrics came out of just a conversation of,
Wow.
I want to feel like this. I want to write a happy song, and one day I hope I can. One day I hope I will. And that's kind of how. And you're right. That song reads almost like you said. It almost sounds like
Yeah.
she's talking.
Yeah, it does.
It sings like a conversation in many respects.
Yeah.
And anyways, though.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed with the minimalism of the lyrics on this song, "Woman Oh Mama." How minimal it is, and yet how much it says, and how much it implies.
Yeah,
throughout, so.
it is. It's a perfect song. I can't see how you could possibly improve it. It's just great.
Yeah.
It's great, and I think it's a song very much for today. But I think it's a song that's going to sound great, far into the future too. It's just really
Just like
really
that John
remarkable.
Lennon song we're referring to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I hope that song, obviously they released that as a single. I hope it does get onto the radio. I hope it does make a huge splash on radio.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
certainly deserves to be.
Yeah, yeah. Joy Williams Venus, definitely. What a great album.
Yeah. So anyhow, so thank you for bringing the Fallen Stars. I'm glad I got to finally hear some of that. That sounds just really great. What I've heard so far.
And you don't necessarily have to be a fan of Firefly, although that'll maybe up the
Certainly
ante a
help.
little bit.
Certainly help.
But yeah, you'll definitely enjoy the music regardless.
You don't have to be a fan of the Civil Wars to enjoy this. No.
Well said.
Yeah, but at any rate, though, so we want to thank you very much for watching. We want to thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, shame on you. Get out of here. No, please subscribe. No, seriously, please subscribe. Thank you so much. And we want to thank everybody who's been sharing the show on Facebook and Twitter and your whatever social media you're on. We really do appreciate that a lot. And so until next time, my name's TJR. You can check out my music at tjrmusic.com and drop your email into my email list, and I'll send you a link for some free MP3s of my music. And of course, you can check out my solo reviews here at the YouTube channel.
And my name is Robert Kinsler, and of course, you can read my work here at musicworthbuying.com and at ocregister.com, musicnewsnashville.com, and at desertstarweekly.com.
And he's on it.
Or you just Google my name and something will come up.
Yeah, it's famous, world famous. Anyhow, okay, so thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.